car actually is in the shop getting wrapped right now. I'm not going to give away the color yet. If you guys follow me on Instagram, Marcoon13, you saw a little bit of hint of what the car is going to look like. So, as you guys can see, my Camaro is going away to get vinyl wrap this week. So, perfect opportunity for me to talk to you guys about vinyl wrapping versus Plasti Dip, the age-old question. So, for those of you who have been thinking about color changing your cars, I'm sure you've gone through the same thing over and over again, looking online. Should I vinyl wrap it? Should I Plasti Dip my car? What is the best option for you? And I'm here to hopefully help you guys out to make a good decision. First thing we're going to talk about is the cost, and this is obviously going to have to go to the Plasti Dip just because to get your car professionally vinyl wrapped, everybody knows is going to be much more expensive than dipping your car, right? You get a gun like this, you can do it yourself in your garage. This is about $100 for the gun. You know, you need some basic stuff like some cloth to be able to tape off your car, cover everything. You're gonna need some masking tape. You also need a respirator like this, make sure you don't die from the Plasti Dip in your garage, and some other basic things like that. I actually dipped my car, my old Camaro. Actually, I'll put some pictures of it here in a little video clip. But at the end of the day, depending on the color that you want, depending on what you guys want to do, it comes out to roughly $500 to $1,000. If you're doing a color shift, the pearls are going to be a little bit more expensive. If you're doing a solid color, you know, you can pretty much just do the gallons straight out of the can and spray it onto your car and drive away, and you're good to go. Now vinyl, this is going to be much more expensive than your normal Plasti Dip. Now you can get some online, you can try and do it yourself, and trust me, I have tried to do it myself. I've done, you know, some basic stuff like a hood, a trunk, etc. But I would never ever try and do an entire car. You got to take door handles off, you got to take mirrors off, bumpers. I mean, if you want to do it right, you got to do a lot of work, and then you have to be a pro at laying this stuff down. I mean, you can get bubbles in it, you can get creases, it could wrinkle, you know, later on. I would definitely leave the vinyl wraps to the pro. So that brings me to my second point, ease of use. Obviously, again, your Plasti Dip is definitely going to be for the do-it-yourself type of guys. Vinyl wrapping, you can do some basic stuff, hood, maybe a roof, maybe a trunk if you're decent or you've gotten some practice. Again, what you'll need here is a heat gun. Definitely do not try and use a hair dryer. That's something I've done in the past, and there's not enough heat. We needed like 3 people to stretch it because we didn't have enough heat. So definitely get yourself a heat gun. They're like $30 on Amazon, super cheap. And a squeegee as well to be able to lay that vinyl down without scratching it. These are like $6 or $7 on Amazon as well. So if you want to do vinyl wrapping yourself, these are probably going to be the things that you need, as well as, you know, some stuff to clean your car beforehand, but you need that for dip and for vinyl wrap as well. So, you know, I'm not going to include that in the price. Next item, color choices. This one I'm going to have to give to Plasti Dip as well. And the reason being is because there's so many different pearls and stuff that you can do. You can basically create your own type of color. And you can do that with vinyl. I know there's going to be some people who are saying, oh, well, you can do custom printed vinyl. Yes, there are some shops that do custom colors for you, but again, you're probably going to add another, you know, $2,000, you know, onto that bill, and in my opinion, that just doesn't seem worth it, right? So color choices, again, gonna have to go to the Plasti Dip side. Finish. Now this is an important one, right? Do you want your car looking professional, or do you want it to look like a DYC type of thing? Do it yourself. And I have to give this one to the vinyl wrapping. Now again, I know you're gonna have those Plasti Dippers out there who say, you know, you've got, you know, Autoflex and all these new things that come out super great, but here's the reality, right? Unless you are a pro sprayer, you've been spraying paint for years, it's not going to come out perfect. You're going to get runs, you're going to get some parts that there's going to be, you know, some more solid color than another spot. That's just the reality of paint, right? Especially a rubber type paint. You're going to have parts of the car that are not going to be perfect. On top of that, you're going to have overspray. I had a big pain in my ass getting overspray out of the trunk and in the door jams and stuff like that. And yeah, you can tape it all up, but again, that's another few hours worth of prep work, which you probably should do anyways. So I got to give the finish to vinyl wrap. If it's done right, you know, you just can't beat it, right? It's printed on paper. It's going to be a perfect color laid perfectly across the entire car no matter what. It's nearly impossible to beat. Peelability, that's going to be a big thing for you guys, right? Because I know you're going to say, hey, maybe what if I want to change the colors? What if I want to do this? What if I want to do that? I gotta give that a slight edge to Plasti Dip, but again, you're gonna have overspray with the Plasti Dip, and that's kind of where it comes into play. The Plasti Dip, I will say, is much easier to peel. It's rubbery, so it's stretchy, so it kind of makes it super easy. Vinyl, when you try and pull it off, it ends up tearing from itself. It doesn't come off in one nice big piece like Plasti Dip does. But again, you don't have the overspray with the vinyl wrap, so that kind of is an advantage. So if you do your prep work right, I gotta give the advantage to Plasti Dip on that route. Now another thing is going to be the skill required to lay this stuff down, right? And again, this one, again, edge is going to have to go to Plasti Dip, and I've got my wing here for a reason, just to show you that if you were to vinyl wrap this or try to attempt to vinyl wrap this, this would be nearly impossible to be able to get a wrap like that around all these curves. Again, things like door handles, spoilers, front bumpers. That is something that you will never be able to do no matter how hard you try unless you are a professional. This spoiler actually is painted, so you know, paint is a good option for pieces like this. But Plasti Dip, again, you can just spray it right onto here. It'll mold into all the curves. So for stuff like that, again, I gotta give the edge to Plasti Dip. Now, Plasti Dip does have the edge on color choices, but I will have to give vinyl the edge on the finishes available, because for vinyl you can get brushed aluminum type finishes, you can get holographic type finishes, you can get chrome type finishes. All that type of stuff you're able to print on vinyl that you can't get on Plasti Dip. So while the color choices are probably a better option for Plasti Dip, if you want something super unique like a brushed blue aluminum or a crazy gold chrome or something like that, you're gonna have to go vinyl. At the end of the day, of course, it's gonna come down to what you need. I would say, very simply, if you've got the money, go get the vinyl wrap. Do it right. You may have a Plasti Dip, professional Plasti Dipper in your area, but again, this is still a relatively new industry, and even those guys, they're not going to be considered professionals. Vinyl wrap just takes it, just because of the finish, the durability, everything about it is just is perfectly laid across your car. It's impossible to beat. You guys are trying to save a little bit of money, and you're a guy like me, you want to do it yourself, you know, you're a go-getter, you want to be able to change the colors, you got a garage also to be able to spray this stuff in. I would say definitely check out the Plasti Dipper. There's so many different colors, you can do whatever you want. And that's going to be a better option for you. The car actually is in the shop getting wrapped right now. I'm not going to give away the color yet. If you guys follow me on Instagram, Marknoon13, you saw a little bit of hint of what the car is going to look like. So that's why I was doing this video, so stay tuned. The wrap should be back in about a week or so, depending on how fast or slow they are. So stay tuned for that, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.